Welcome back. Missy Heydrich here at the 2024 Women's Basketball Media Days, and we are now joined by the head coach and student athletes from TCU. The number 4 pick in the Big 12 preseason poll, 21-12 a year ago overall, head coach Mark Campbell, and he is joined by senior guard Madison Conner, graduate student guard Haley Van Lith, and graduate student center Sedona Prince. Coach, 1 year under your belt now at TCU and in the Big 12. It looks different, this league does, in year 2 for you. But what stood out to you about this league? And what did you learn in terms of what TCU needs to do to be successful in this conference?
Yeah, well, after year 1, you learn that the coaching is just incredible. And the depth of the conference, the wide range of styles of play was a fun challenge. And so every night you got to be locked in and you got to bring it. And then obviously we added the 4 corner schools in Utah and Colorado and Arizona State. So we've added some more elite programs with great coaches.
What is both the impact, obviously last year, a year ago, injuries kind of decimated your season at all different times and in all different ways. But what impact has it been both short term now for this season, but also as you think long term for the growth of your program, to have players like this buy in terms of coming to you and coming to TCU, but then staying there and making that commitment?
Yeah, for sure. The injuries created some adversity last year, but even within that, there was blessings within the adversity, and some of the players, Madison being one of them, but their role just became huge. And they had opportunities with a smaller roster that they wouldn't have necessarily had. And so there was a group of those kids that really blossomed and laid a foundation that will carry over into this year. And even with those injuries, it was the biggest turnaround in the country at the Power 4 level. And so that group laid an amazing foundation. And then you go into the portal, and we were added 6 awesome young ladies, Haley being one of them, to blend in with the returners that we have. Now you have depth. Now you can play in an up-tempo system and style that we want to play. And you have to have depth to compete at the highest level of this league. That's another thing I learned. The rosters are talented in that top tier. And so now I think we have the firepower and the horses to compete with those teams.
Well, you got a lot of firepower sitting right next to you. My first question goes to Madison. Your first year at TCU averaged just shy of 19 points a game, a second-team All-Big 12 selection. You fit in just fine to this offense as a shooter. But what did you focus on in the offseason, and what is it about this system that makes a shooter's eyes just light up the minute they get on the floor?
Yeah, this offseason I definitely was focusing on the pick-and-roll game. I've never really came off a pick-and-roll and had to make those reads, so I've always kind of just been a shooter and just spot-up shots. So that's something that I really took into account this offseason just so I can help my team and be a threat besides the three-point line. And this offense, I mean, it's everything that a shooter wants. You have talented guards coming off the pick-and-roll. You have Sedona Prince is a huge post presence, so they kind of have to pick their poison, and it gives me a lot of wide-open shots. So perfect system for a shooter.
Green light. Everybody loves a green light, right? That's
for
a good
sure.
thing.
Madison gets fluorescent green.
Really bright, blinking green. There we go. Haley, I would ask you, preseason co-newcomer of the year. You're coming off a trip to the Olympics in the 3v3 in Paris. Averaged just shy of 12 points a game last year at LSU. Welcome to the Big 12. What have these first few weeks of practice been like, official practice? And what was it about this TCU program that was right for you?
Yeah, the first 3 weeks of practice have been great. Obviously, we had a lot of newcomers, so working out those bumps and those bruises and lumps these first 3 weeks, but it's been very seamless, and it's been as good as you can ask for. I'm happy with our growth. I'm happy with where we're at as a team. I think the chemistry is really there for us. So I most importantly, I just enjoy being around these girls and this coaching staff. But one of the main reasons I wanted to come to TCU is the offensive system, the opportunity that it prevents for someone of my playing style. And not only will it benefit me, it'll also push me to get better. Just in this off season, I've become so much better at making reads and playing in the pick and roll. One, because the talent that is surrounding me with shooters like Madison and pick and roll with Sedona Prince, like that's as good as it gets. But also just continual reps and having to make reads over and over again. But a lot of the draw for TCU was, the basketball opportunity, but I think since I've been here, I've been amazed and just like completely humbled and filled with gratitude about the experience I'm having with the people that are there.
That's fantastic. Sedona, you got yourself back to your home state in Texas last year, but you missed some time. 21 games, 13 of those you had a double-double. What went into your decision to come back this season and to lace it up one more year with the Horned Frogs?
Yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer. When I got was told the news that I got my 7th year back, I was weighed with this decision to leave or stay. And, playing for Mark has been just the biggest blessing I've ever been given in my life. And this system is amazing. This program is just taught me so much. It's really, changed and saved my life to be a part of TCU. And so to come back was a no-brainer, and so now we've built an amazing team, and I'm really excited to be a part of this and to just have one more year with Mark and his staff.
Green lights all around up here.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
Fluorescent.
There we go. All right, for our media members out there who have a question, we'll start right over here with Blair Kirchhoff from the Kansas City Star.
Hi, this is for the players. Been asking other players about this. With the incredible growth and popularity of women's basketball, how have you personally experienced that?
Haley, we'll start with you.
Yeah, obviously I have a unique experience with it. Honestly, for me, it started in high school. So I've been experiencing it for a while now. But it's a blessing, and there's downsides to it. But you can't ask for more attention, for more national TV time, for more money, and not expect the downsides to happen. So in all the negatives that I experience, it's really a blessing in disguise, and I'd take it over any other situation. And I love the environment that we're going to have for my last year of college basketball. I think it's going to be a great year, and I can't wait to compete. I think that's what I'm most excited for.
We're going to go right here in the front.
Mark, Joan Bonvicini from Arizona.
Good to see you.
Nice seeing you. Looking at your roster and your players up here, you got talent, and you had it rolling last year. You were ready to knock the door down. Being a former coach, what's really your expectations for your team this year? You got a loaded roster. You got people who can light it up. What are you guys going to do?
Yeah, great question. I don't ever put a specific number on the season. Your goal as a coach is to maximize the talent and the group that you have. And last year's group, I think, did that. I think they maxed out what we were capable of. And so there is no ceiling. There is no limit with what this group can accomplish. I think we're as balanced as anybody. I think we have depth. I think we can play really, really fast. And I think our guard play is as good as anybody in college basketball. And I think Sedona has a chance to be the best center in the country this year. And there's obviously in our league, holy cow, there's some unbelievable centers. But Sedona's so unique with their versatility to be able to play out on the perimeter, to be able to post up. But I don't know if there's another post player that has the versatility that she does.
We've got time for one last question right here in the front.
Coach Matthew Postins, Heartland College Sports. You talked about how the injuries last year opened up opportunities for other players. Una and Agnes both had really good years for you. They developed, probably accelerated their development with that last year. How do they fit into the scheme this year when you talk about the depth that you need to get through this conference?
Yeah, great question. Una, Agnes, even Aaliyah were three players that had huge roles last year and are going to have huge roles this year. And we're still putting the pieces of the puzzle together. But one thing our staff's done this offseason is trying to really figure out how do we create as many possessions as we can get in a game. And so it's been really fun to try to put that puzzle together, and we're going to be able to press and really speed the game up. And that allows you to play a deeper roster and use our bench, which is one of our strengths this year. And so Una, Aaliyah, Agnes, last year they just blossomed, and that is going to carry over to this year.
Well, they're going to play fast, lots of possessions. That means very, very bright green lights, and you're going to see that from TCU. Coach, players, thank you so much, ladies. We wish you the very best this season.